People describe it as a virtual place where there's a social layer and a commerce layer. And that's like the really crude definition of the metaverse. But for me, I think of the metaverse more in a cultural context where I'm looking at the people who come from what I call the forever cultures. The Dogon had their own version of the metaverse. The Aboriginal people had their own version of the metaverse, Dreamtime. And of course, African people who are the mother and father of all civilization. The metaverse is ultimately what you want it to be. And I want to bring the aesthetic communication into the metaverse because I know that the metaverse is a place where identity is layer zero of the metaverse. Without identity, without understanding creative self-expression as cultural currency, for me, there is no proper metaverse. I'm Lady Pheønix. I'm a curator and an artist. I primarily work with AR and VR, so collectively known as XR. I'm born of the internet. I'm a bit of a futurist. I think I'm the great-granddaughter of the Oracle from the Matrix. Or maybe I'm her great-grandmother, actually, since that's a future tale. I care about the future, and I care that human beings are in right relationship with their purpose and with the earth. With the metaverse, particularly in a cultural context for myself, I like to think of a specific passage from the Bible that says, where two or more are gathered, there I am too. That, for me, in very simple terms, is the metaverse. The metaverse is this place that Neil Stephenson actually described very dystopically. It wasn't like a place we should all be rushing into to monetize, to get dressed up, to party in. I don't see the metaverse as Ready Player One, where we're all living and just gaming and collecting coins and, tribing up to play games. I mean, I know that will be a reality, but again, I'm hoping that with all of our brain power, all of our heart power, all of our brilliance as a collective, that we will seek to do more and be more in these next worlds that we're creating. We don't always get a real second chance to do things. And now as architects of the future, we have a real second chance to build our world in a way that reflects our highest, most beautiful, most divine, most conscious selves. Not perfect selves. Beautiful, divine, conscious selves that are ebbing and flowing, learning and leaning into those lessons we've learned. The reason why I founded Crypto Fashion Week was because I wanted us to be in dialogue about who we were becoming through the pandemic. We have our entire fashion show on the ocean. And we're not doing it on the ocean for the understanding of walking on water, but we're doing it on the ocean so that we can invite people into conversation about the coral reef and the state of the ocean and our relationship with Mother Nature. Nature is never part of the conversation for representation. So with Crypto Fashion Week, for example, we wanted to bring nature into that. I think it's important to use the metaverse to impact and enrich our humanity as a human family, as a creative group of people. Within this multiverse or metaverse, I created the MOD, creating the Museum of the Digital Diaspora inside the metaverse for digital artists. Patrons or visitors to the museum, what they can do is similar to what they do here, IRL. They go into the museum, there's someone to greet you at the front desk. You're guided to an exhibition on the main floor, which is the Thelonious Monk exhibition. And you're also guided upstairs, which is an exhibition called Music Men by artist Ra Crawford. Ra Crawford and the estate of Thelonious Monk, collaborated for the Monk Drop. So it's very similar to your IRL experience of going to a museum, reading, listening, viewing, taking time. Our ideas, our philosophies come from today, but the people of forever have been inviting us into the metaverse already. The metaverse of compassion, the metaverse of kindness, the metaverse of unity, the metaverse of oneness, the metaverse of love. These are ancient people who have been here that have been colonized, who have been oppressed, who've been downpressed, who've been stepped on, who've been murdered. We're in the metaverse already. Nobody knows how we got on Earth here, but we're here, we're born, we're living, we're doing our best as humans. That's what I believe. So to create a mirror world out of pixels, what is that mirror world reflecting? I founded Breonna's Garden, or created Breonna's Garden, because I wanted to create an opportunity for the loved ones of Breonna Taylor to speak on behalf of their loved one. She was an EMT. She literally stood in the gap between life and death for so many people on the back of ambulances. In the metaverse context, both pixel and organic, we need a place to deposit our love, have that love grow and be reflected to us. This project is about reuniting two sisters. It's a story of love and reuniting those two sisters in the metaverse. It's also a story of unity and community because we invite other people to the project to leave a message in the garden for their loved one. So each of the flowers inside of the garden holds a message, holds a memory of someone's loved one. Many of those flowers are, of course, messages to Breonna of encouragement for her family or from members of her family for Breonna. So if we're going to use the metaverse for anything, it's for these purposes, to uplift humanity, to make a spotlight on love, to bring out the best aspects of who we are, and to also help somebody heal. The most rewarding part of this process is her sister said, I felt like I had Breonna back, even for a moment. And that's the purpose of this project. Thank you everyone out there for listening to this story, and thank you for continuing to say the name of Breonna Taylor, because when you say her name, you send a healing vibration out into the world, and that's what we all need.